Welcome everybody to the top 10 most mentally challenging anime list you'll ever find. Probably because you'll never search for one. My name is Misty Sloshkin, and the term mentally challenged usually have a negative connotation. I'm genuinely aiming for a tricky, puzzly anime that will twist your mind trying to solve those cases. I freaking love a good bamboozle, and if you're anything like me, these anime will give you a run for your money without a doubt. Think you're clever? You might peg yourself down a bit after those. But before we go in, let me tell you about today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Twitch. This Monday from October 23rd, 2017 until November 7th, Twitch is going to hold a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters full-on marathons of all the seasons. If you have never seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, first of all, how do you sleep at night? Second of all, fix that at this event. Or if, like me, you want to relive the adventure of Yugi and realize just how broken his deck was, Pot of Greed, Monster Reborn, and Change of Heart. Yeah, that's totally fair and legal. The marathon will begin at noon Pacific Standard Time on the 23rd, so put your Halloween in defense position and place 2 face down before you end your turn and you join us for this marathon. I'll be waiting on twitch.tv/twitchpresents, so you better show up, links in the description. But now let's move on to those mind-boggling anime. Let's go, Smart Yar, show me your stuff. Number 10, Detective Academy Q. When it comes to genre in anime, there's usually a big star that steals the spotlight for everybody else. In this case, it would be Detective Conan. That is a damn shame, cause Detective Academy Q was nothing shy than a jaw-dropping, mind-boggling compilation of clever puzzles, all handles throughout the eyes of aspiring detectives attending school. What really made this anime captivating for me was the cast. You have the main character, a clever boy who thinks outside of the box, the main girl who have a photographic memory, a brawly guy who relies on his instinct, a techie kid, and finally a guy who's just super smart. All of them are put in front of tricky scenarios that will leave you confounded and bamboozled at how they solved it. It's number 10, but kid yourself not, it's fantastic.
そして犯人はこの中にいる。何探してるのかわかんないけど、一人でそんなに頑張っちゃって手伝っちゃおうかな。
事故か自殺他殺の未遂かどれも考えられますね。
状況から見て自殺の可能性は低いわね。
どうして？
Number 9, Spiral. If you saw Detective Academy Q and found the puzzles to be too easy, this would be your next step. Based on an incredible manga, Spiral, not to be confused with Uzumaki's Spiral into Horror, that's a completely different and messed up one. Anyway, Spiral is a story about a student detective named Ayumu, whose brother, a fellow detective and pianist, suddenly vanishes. After some time, a series of murders start to take place, and Ayumu teams up with the school journalist to tackle the whole ordeal. This is kind of a drama mystery where instead of tackling many tiny puzzles, it's a giant one. The anime ended before the manga, so some detail were modified, but if you dip your toe in the water and realize you really like Spiral, I highly recommend you read the manga. But again, don't confuse it with Uzumaki. Not the same thing. Really not the same thing.
まあな。彼女はあの日、あの時間、あの場所に来るよう何者かに手紙でおびき出されていたことが分かりました。
つまり
Number 8, Fee-Brain. Back to a multitude of puzzles we go. Fee-Brain is slightly different in terms of mental challenges. The enemy is sharing the same kind of blood as Professor Layton, kinda. A mix between that, No Game No Life, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Hey, look, a connection to the event. Anyway, in Fee-Brain, you embark on a journey along with Kaito, a quote-unquote demon at solving puzzles. Kinda like Yugi Alter's Ego. He's really good. Added to that, some pretty finicky puzzles where sometimes you have to think outside of the box. The anime make for some grade A entertainment. What I really enjoyed out of Fee-Brain was how digestible every episode was. Like tiny bites of trivia you can eat once in a while, and suddenly you realize you're all done with the 75 episodes. It's a definite must-try to see anime.
俺は解けないパズルを解いてみせる。決まってる。パズルタイムの始まりだ。
いくよ。1、2、3、
4。
Number 7, Ghost Hunt. With Halloween coming up right around the corner, I can understand some people wanting to get themselves in the spirit of spooks. So this is where I bring you Ghost Hunt. This anime is a stellar bridge between mind-rattling and shiver-inducing. Like, you want to know what happens next, but it ices your blood as you tattle your way in. Kinda like a good horror book. The story is about Kazuya, an investigator of the paranormal who got hired by a school principal to research a particular building. When his equipment and assistant get put out of order, say it like that, Kazuya has no other choice than to hire Mai, a temporary substitute. She definitely gets introduced into a brand new world. If you don't like spooky atmosphere, stay away, but otherwise this might be the refreshing anime you've been searching.
僕はエクソシストというものでんがのです。悪魔払いはカトリックの司祭以上でなければ。本当なら重罪だな。
こいつらミリオンクラスの殺人鬼たちなんでしょ。苗木誠くん、なんでそんな。
Number6, Danganronpa. Have you ever wondered what a battle royale crossover with Phoenix Wright would look like? Well, that's the kind of result you get with Danganronpa. The anime is incredible, and the games are even better. But let's stick to the anime. This show put 15 students in an all locked up school, and the only way they can go out is by killing someone and getting away with it. If they do, everyone else dies and the game's over. If the murderer is found out, he or she gets executed. It seems quite gruesome, but it's done in such a colorful and artsy way, it's almost kid-friendly. Almost. Mix this survival game with an investigation and you get several whodunit cases, all mentally challenging with lots of twists and turns. I highly recommend this one.
てめえの仕業か。
久しぶりだね。
くどいんだよ。いい加減にしろ。一試合だけって言ってんだろ。わかったよ。
Number5, Ultimate Survivor Kaiji. Let's put detectives on ice for a little No, not like Disney on ice. For a little moment, while I garner your attention on this bad boy, Kaiji is a dark story. The plot begins with the main character, Kaiji, who's a bum fresh out of school, got a crap job and a lot of debt. One day he's invited on a boat where he can make loads of money, but the tiny prince says if you lose you get stowed away as a slave. Sadly, unbeknownst to him, Kaiji seems to be cursed as he gets the worst luck in his draws, faces a lot of cheaters, and straight up ends against rigged machines. The only thing he has is his wits. I know the art style is not what people are usually used to in anime, but the story and character makes up for it tenfold. I highly recommend you try this one out.
その通りさ。ほつれはあった。決定的なほつれがな。覚えてるか、北見。
奥地、高見をツナスイングと追い込んだ。
球速は125キロ程度。こんなものなのか。
Number4, One Out. There's a lot of people who throw around the word masterpiece without said piece deserving the praise, but One Outs definitely fit the bill. One Outs is an anime about a gambler named Toa who's incredibly clever and managed to get himself within a baseball team with the following deal. For everyone he strikes out, he wins $50,000. But for anyone who crosses the plate while he's pitching, he loses $500,000. What started off as an incentive for him to make the team win quickly turned into an all-out war for the manager to not end up bankrupt. This anime is brilliant, however, it might require a basic knowledge of the sports. If you don't know much about baseball, some things might end up confusing you, but as long as you know what a base is, the technical terms are usually explained as it goes.
ストライク！バッターアウト！高見空振りの三振！特地、このピンチを切り抜ける。
片桐も配達行ってきます。
はい、気をつけて。
あ、藤沼さん、ピザ途中で食べちゃダメだよ。
おい、そこのトラック。
Number3, Erased. I think at this point, any anime fans have seen Erased or at least heard about it. But I'm still going to cover it for that rare viewers of you who just got into anime last Saturday. Erased is a whodunit kind of anime, similar to Danganronpa, except not as detective heavy, as it's one case span over 12 episodes rather than multiple ones. The story begins with Satoru, a 29-year-old who has the ability to go back in time, sometimes minutes before something tragic happens. But when something close to him happens, he's sent all the way back to 1988 to try and fix everything. Sadly, there's only so much a 10-year-old can do. But if you're interested by a series of mysterious disappearance, murderers, and a bad guy on the loose, this is right up for you.
おかえり。
バイトの後輩だぞ。嫁探ししてるみたいな浅ましい目で見るなよ。
やらなくてもいいことならやらない。やらなければいけないことなら手短に。
だね。でもね、宝太郎。この多彩な部活動。
Number 2, Yoka. Just like with Ghost Hunt, we go into a more mysterious type of investigation. After joining the classic club, Oreki, the main protagonist, soon finds himself deep within a 45-year-old lingering mystery about the club room. With the help of fellow club members, he set out to solve it all. If this anime was on Steam, it'd have the overwhelmingly positive review tag. The show started off pretty slow pace, where you learn a little bit about every characters, but once it's all in place, the mystery and the atmosphere shift to give you one of the most sublime experience. It's like having sex for the first time. Over way too soon, and then you blame it on the foreplay, and that it's been a while since you've done anything at all, and that you cry yourself in shame. No, nothing to do with my life, just being hypothetical. Anyway, where was I going with that? Yeah, Yoka, it's a good show.
秘密クラブの一席よ。
1枚だけのメモ。ゾログマの回。私、気になります。
よし。
そういう。
こら起きろ。起きなさい、ドクター天馬。
And finally, number 1, Monster. Let's wrap it up with this one. Just like One Outs, Monster is one of those anime deserving of the masterpiece title. Everyone claims it's a classic because, well, it deserves it. So where does the mental challenge begin with this one? Well, it's not quite the same kind. Straight out of the gate, you're put between two ultimatums. The main character, a brain surgeon, has to choose between rescuing a child or the town's mayor. For a doctor, all lives are equal, but which one would you choose? The child, right? Potential for the future, could create a cure for cancer, or becomes a drug addict, but at least there's the potential. So you save the child, but what happens when a series of murder begins after you save the kid and everything points out to the fact that you rescued a serial killer? I'll guess you'll find out if you watch the anime now.
Dr. Tenma. はい。君はこっちじゃない。大至急。
So how do you feel? Do you think you'll have something to twist your mind about? If you like this video, please leave a like so I can exchange your love for actual currency and pay my rent with those. I'm sure that's gonna work out. You can also subscribe for more. Feel free to try any of them during your free time. But don't forget there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters marathon going on from the 23rd of October to the 7th of November at twitch.tv/twitchpresents. Don't hesitate to swing by and see what it's like. I'm sure you'll have a blast discussing with fellow Yu-Gi-Oh! Know-it-alls. Oh, and turns out my buddies at Team 4 Stars are also gonna do the pre-marathon. If you like them, that's just extra incentive. Again, links in the description. That's it. Have a great week. I'll see you again real soon. Love ya!
I've been through the hard times, I've been on the wrong side, I've been ashamed. So many memories, you know I'd like to change.